Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Tristan Journey, and today I'm gonna be drawing Allura. It's probably pronounced Allura, but I'm Texan, so I'm gonna say Allura from Voltron. Today I'm gonna be doing a speed art with a voiceover this time, because I haven't done one of those in forever, and basically I'm just gonna be talking about my process. So I'm gonna start out with the pose. Usually I think of a pose, and then I think, hey, that would look good on so-and-so character. But today I actually thought, hey, I'm gonna draw Allura, and I just thought of a great pose for that. Of course, I couldn't really find a reference for a pose like this, so I did what I usually do, in my speed arts at least, and I went into Blender, and I got this model. I downloaded this like low poly geometric model, and I used that, as you may know, for a lot of my poses, and I basically, put the basic shapes over it, and I draw over those with my knowledge of anatomy. And yeah, here I am doing the line art, and I used a size 16 brush, and I think my canvas is 4,400 pixels high and about 3,300 wide, if you just, wanted to know what size I work on. So it's pretty big, so, I can make prints, 300 DPI, obviously. And honestly, I love doing line work. It's just so fun. I love doing the hair, all the little lines and stuff, and I like to add all the little details, that fun kind of thing. And so what I do to fill in the color is I won't go in and draw over it unless my line art is really patchy. I just select the area around the line art and then expand it a little and inverse it, and then I draw the base color underneath it. And I added a little blue lion charm because I thought that would be cute to her backpack, which is holographic. And the way I do my shading, which I've probably mentioned already, but I'll say it again, is I make a layer above the color, put it to shading, and I put this sort of light, really, really light purple on top of it, and it's still gonna look a little dark. And so I erase all the lighting in. I pick where my lighting is going to come from, and in this instance it was up and a little to the right. And so I picked where the lighting was going to come from, and I just erase in all the light. So what's left is the shadow, and I decided her shirt was going to be really fuzzy, fuzzy and soft. So I sort of put in this texture. It's really simple to do. You just erase little dots and stuff, make them a little random. Don't overdo it though, just a little bit to sort of get the idea of the texture in your head. And I add in some of that light purple. Sorry for all the uhs, oh my gosh. I add in a little bit of that light purple, and then I darken it, and I put that very sparingly in the darker parts of the shadowy parts, so it just gives it another dimension, It looks a little more, adds more depth, and I think it looks nice. And I do my luminosity layering out of my hair scribbles. And what I like to do to add a little something to all my drawings is I add a little bit of a backlight. Basically, I'll take a color that's opposite or complementary to the main lighting source, like blue in this instance, and I just put a little bit of that on the opposite side of the main light. And what I'm doing here is something I sort of recently do, and I really like it, is I'll outline the shadow a little bit with a slightly darker color. And on the skin, that's supposed to mimic light refraction, when you hold your hand in the sun and it looks a little red around the light. That's what I like to sort of mimic with that line around the shadow. And I don't do the whole thing, just a little bit, so it adds, a little depth. I think it looks really nice. I sort of stole that from several artists that I really like. So, and what I just did is I added a gradient with the airbrush tool, just made it really big, on an overlay layer. Just two different colors, on the light and dark side, like purple and a light pink, and it sort of adds, this color depth that I really, really like. And basically for the background, I don't do anything too crazy, but I went into Photoshop and I had these little clouds that I thought, what would look good with Allura? Some fun purple clouds, some purple pink clouds. And I added a wind modifier or whatever to the clouds so it looks sort of cool. And I added some geometric shapes around the clouds, you know, that sort of negative space looks really nice. And, you know, I just play around with the lighting and such and the colors to make it look really nice. And I do think it turned out really well. And after the fact, I added a little blue light in her hand, you know, for the energy. But hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Goodbye!